We are going to initiate the setup of Outlook. Before we do this on your new computer, we have to first make sure that your Google account will not reject it as an unsecured app. So we have to bounce over to the internet and double check that the security settings on our Google account will allow it to be accessed by other applications. Going to open up Google and use Chrome when you're accessing your Google account. Going to go to my drive. And this is where you put in your GApps credential. And it should be the same password as for Active Directory. For some reason it's not, you can reset your password at PW Reset. Over here now in the Google Apps menu launcher, I'm going to go down to the one that says My Account. Click on My Account. Scroll down to the Sign In Security. It opens up a frame down the left and all the security options on the right. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom where it starts talking about apps and passwords. And right here, you may be defaulted to off, allow less secure apps. Mine says off right now from me toggling it. I'm going to turn it back on. So as long as it says on and this is blue, then you know you're set up to allow other apps to access your Google account. So now I can close this. I don't need that up anymore. And I'm going to go down to the search box and I'm going to type email. And here it is, Outlook 2016, under the word apps. So we're first going to set up your regular employee email. It says welcome to Outlook 2016. You're just going to click next. And it's asking if you really want to connect to Outlook with an email account. Just leave it yes and hit next. Now it's putting in the name automatically of who you are. I'm going to change this only because I am logged in as another person. You won't have to change that on yours. But yours should automatically have found your name. And if it didn't, you could do what I did and force it to be your correct name. Once it finds you in the directory, it will insert the rest of the information. If it doesn't, just type it in. And this is your regular password that you always use. Click next. It's establishing everything and it says congratulations, you're ready to go. Now, very important, don't click finish. Come down here to add another account. We're going to add your Google Mail to also be viewable in Outlook. So you don't have to go check it on the web. You can check it whenever you're in your Outlook software program on this computer. And click add another account. And then you're following the directions now on your handout that says next. Set up your secondary email account. That's the last paragraph on page 2. So I'm just following those directions now. The first one says to select manual setup. That's a common mistake for people to start filling out this top part of the screen, but that won't work for the Gmail account. You need to go down here and click manual setup and then next. We need to change this setting as well to POP or IMAP because that's what Gmail is. Then click next. Now on here, we're going to go ahead and enter our name and our mail address. So again, just type this in to identify myself, and here I have to put the entire string in at susdgapps.org. All right. Now we're on the step where it says incoming and mail type. So we need to change this to IMAP. And our incoming mail server is imap.gmail.com. The outgoing mail server is smtp.gmail.com. If you have a typo anywhere on either of these two, your mailbox will not authenticate and it will tell you had a failed attempt at setup. So check these boxes should anything go wrong at the end, and come back using that back button on your wizard and double check that you put them in properly. Here under username, it put it in there from the top, but if it didn't for some reason, it's your entire email address is your username. Password, that should be the same password that you use for everything else. All right. And yes, you can leave it remember password here because it's Outlook that's going to put it in there for you. Now we're not going to hit next this time. We're going to hit more settings right here. All right, and it put my name in for me, so that's good. I'm going to go up here to outgoing server on the 3 tabs across the top, and I'm going to check mark my outgoing server requires authentication. And it did put a dot in there for me already. I've used the same settings. So I don't need to mark that, but if yours isn't, it needs to be turned on. All right. We're going to click OK. And we're going to go to more settings again. This time choose the Advanced tab. On the Advanced tab, it's important that you do things in the right order or it erases results of a previous box that you filled in. So the first thing we have to do is change our encryption from none to SSL on both of these boxes. There's the first one, there's the second one. Be sure to change them both before you attempt to change the numbers in front of it. The number for the top one for incoming is already to the right number, but if from yours it's not 993, then be sure to enter it. The bottom one I have to change, so I'm going to backspace over this SMTP number and put 465. All right, and then leave everything else the same and click OK. Now we're ready to hit the next button. And it's thinking. And it says on here, on your directional sheet, that this may take several minutes, especially if there's a large crowd of users all trying to authenticate at the same time. So now I can see I have a test account settings pop-up window that says, congratulations, all tests completed successfully. So if you do not see that and you're missing a check mark here, then you may have to acknowledge that error and use the back button and go check all of your settings again. Just go through the steps again. And one of the steps you could always check again is that your Google account did indeed allow less secure apps. Those are the most common reasons people can't get their mail to work, and they're all on your handout sheet. I'm going to click close. It says I'm ready to go. I can click finish and it should load my mailbox. So that's up to you on that pop-up if you want Outlook to remember your password every day. If you want to put it in manually every day, that's more secure, but you are allowed to mark remember my password there where it just popped up and asked me that. So that's personal preference. Here's my mailbox now. The last thing we need to do is put our auto signature on there. So those are the next steps on your page. And we're going to go over to the word file. And from there we go down to options. And from in here we click mail. then over here, we need to look for signatures. This is a temporary signature until the IT department releases our auto signature, hopefully this fall of 2017. I'm going to click New, and I'm just going to call it my name. And I'm going to put very brief things, and they're listed on your sheet what we want everybody to do. It's your name, your title, and where you're located, and the address of that school or location. And of course, I got to put the rest of the mailing address on here. All right, and then put your phone number and your classroom extension. So for you at a school, it would be the school front office and then your classroom extension. For me, I'm going to put in my traveling number. All right. And we won't have to worry this go around yet about all the social media and other links. Those will be propagated in your new automatic signature when that's rolled out. Click OK, and then click OK again to close this, and it brings me right back to my mailbox. And now you have your Outlook set up over here where you can see your regular inbox, and also right here is my GApps mailbox. So I can check both in one convenient location. And that's it.